What is going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 47 of the Yamcast. We are slowly approaching episode 52, which will be one entire year of the Yamcast.
That's wild.
It is. Although, if my memory serves me correctly, we have been doing this for over a year. I think the first Yamcast was like April of 2020.
Yep, we've
like
missed
that.
a couple of weeks.
Yeah. God forbid. Anyways, today's episode, we've got some fun news from the fastest Royal Enfield ever, some scooter news, and some BMW news as well. Then we've got our call-in portion of our podcast, which we have not decided to call in theme, if I remember correctly.
No, we have
We're
not.
just going to do a general Q&A today. We called an audible. There we go. Welcome to the Yamcast. And then at the end, we've also got a new meme contest where this one we have a fun twist. We decided to poll our Discord boys and have them show us their rides. We've got some new members on board. Want to see what they ride, see some fun stuff they came up with. So stick around. It's going to be a good one. Alrighty, Spite, lead us off. What's our first bit of news?
Our first bit of news, this one a Discord boy dropped, and it is the fastest Royal Enfield ever. Which
is it really the fastest ever?
I think it is one of the fastest Royal Enfields. So they called it the Sabre, machine based on a 2019 Interceptor 650 that puts out around, drumroll please, 70 horsepower.
Ooh, so it's like an MT-07, a bone stock MT-07. Wow. You know, at first I thought that said 700 brake horsepower, and I was like, hell yeah, Royal
now
Enfield.
you're talking.
That's some Busa power, baby.
But it's 70 brake horsepower.
Yeah. And so let's be a little kinder to this Royal Enfield. It was built to exist in a specific category of racing at Bonneville, right?
Yeah, so this was basically just meant to fit into I forget what they call it, but it's production-based formula. So I guess it's basically a just cafe racer almost.
Yeah.
Naked, as fast as you can make a naked bike go category.
Yeah.
And I guess for that, 132 miles an hour is pretty good.
This just seems kind of miserable, man. Like, I feel like a bone stock RS 660 is way faster.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Why are we like? I'm trying to understand. Maybe I'm missing something. Why is this some sort of achievement? Why is this news?
I honestly don't know. It's like apparently this is just bonkers for Royal Enfield. They're like, holy cow, you like hot rodded it and stuff.
That's like Harley numbers. There's like, holy moly, you made 80 horsepower out of this thing. That's crazy. There's a quote here that says, the 650 really lends itself to performance mods. So we set out to build a salt racer using the standard Interceptor frame as dictated by the MF 650 rules with a modified engine. So they wanted to compete in this category of the Bonneville salt fat racing, but to me it's just like, I just don't understand why that. I mean, the bike looks cool. It's got the Olins. It's super race ready. Like, it's super spec'd out, right?
I mean, it's a good looking bike.
It looks like it doesn't even have a front brake, which is wild. That I can see of, right? Doesn't look like there's a front brake.
There's your front brake.
Where's the disc?
That's where it would bolt up.
Oh,
so
yeah.
There is no disc.
Yeah, there's no disc on there, which is insane. I mean, it's cool, but it's just one of those things. It feels like if this feels like the kind of numbers and records you would see like in a period correct Royal Enfield in like the 60s or something. Yeah. I'm pretty sure Bonneville's in the 60s were going faster than this.
Yep.
So like,
hooray Royal Enfield!
Hooray Royal Enfield! Yeah.
So they were saying that this was to test. Basically, they want to test these for these parts for sale. Essentially, they want to make
my god,
things for people to just go out and do these head kits or whatever to their Royal Enfields. And so they said they have. Let's see here. The crank has been rebalanced. Rod, sheet pin, new pistons, added compression ratio to 11.5 to 1. There you go.
Woof. I think you gave it a half there. I think I'm reading just 11 to 1.
Oh yeah, no, it's 11 to 1. Yeah,
you were generous.
I rounded up. But that's 11. Okay, 11 to 1 is. I think that's what an MT-07 does.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, 70 horsepower from a 650. That's like Ninja 650 MT-07 like bone stock.
Mm-hmm. and you don't have to get a whole whack of racing parts on here.
Yeah.
Like, you got yourself the Öhlins. You got yourself this completely open race system here.
Yeah.
You got clip-on bars for new front suspension, new this, new that.
Yeah, he's got like a Busa fender on there for the aero, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, I think when I hear a lot of the stuff that Royal Enfield's doing, I applaud them. You know, like they got the flat track initiatives, they got this stuff. You know, it seems like they're trying to get out there and have fun with bikes and get into it. But it seems like the efforts they do put out, I'm just like really kind of underwhelmed by, you know?
Yeah, they're a little disappointing.
It doesn't seem like they have any serious performance chops in their division.
No, I think the most performance-oriented machine they have is this Interceptor 650, and it's like just completely like
a retro racer almost.
When we were talking to Michael Locke from AFT, he was saying that the basically the only things that are different or that are the same are the cases. Everything else on the inside is completely different, and he's like they're making 70 horsepower.
Yeah.
So. Apparently, that's kind of the limit of this engine.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. It's a super old-school styled 650 air-cooled engine. It's not even liquid-cooled, right? So you can't expect too much out of it. But yeah, it kind of seems like they're trying to play a game out of Harley's playbook by selling like a Stage 1, Stage 2, Stage 3 kit, at the dealership level so you can go and tinker with your bike. Or that someone could then go and buy the parts from and then install it themselves, right?
Yeah, it feels to me like they're trying to make the Hammer Performance Kit, but for Royal Enfields, essentially. Yeah. Some bolt-on top-end kit to allow you to make a bike that makes modern horsepower.
So you go and buy the bike, and they're like, all right, we know it's not as good as normal, new bikes, so we'll sell you for $2,000 a race kit that makes the bike an MT-07.
Hooray.
Nice. Yeah. Well, just go get an R7, guys. There's really no need to get this if this is Royal Enfield's attempt at a twins cut bike, right?
Hooray. Good work. It's still heavy as shit, too.
Yeah.
It's really heavy.
I wonder what because Royal Enfield's picking up a lot of steam right now. I wonder what their sort of next idea is going to be or the next new bike they make.
I gotta believe it's gotta be some sort of sport bike.
You think?
Something like that. Because you think about the bikes that really sell in their market, talking about Indian, Asian marketplace, it's these small, sporty bikes like the R3, the RC390, the Duke 390. Those are killer over there.
Yeah.
They absolutely slay.
Especially the KTM, since it's sort of like a pride thing because they're built there,
And so I feel like they might probably take the 400 that's in the Himalayan, try and rod that one up a little bit, and then make a sporty single-cylinder motorcycle around it.
The question is, would they make it kind of retro RE style, or would they actually put plastics and try to do like a new thing? I think that'd be really neat.
Both would be good, I think. Just a little to appease the classic people and a little something new for the newfangled folks out there who want a cool-looking modern motorcycle.
Yeah. One thing that I think is interesting is that Royal Enfield just sells so many of those Bullet 350s and those kind of bikes, those super utilitarian kind of, unkillable kind of old school bikes. Those are still really popular. People still buy them a ton. So I don't even know if they need to make a new bike. Maybe they just pull a Suzuki and just keep making the same thing again and again and again, right?
I mean, that's what they did with the Bullet from basically 1950 to 2010, I think.
Yeah.
It was like 60 years that they ran that motorcycle without updating it.
Yeah.
So that would not be outside their playbook.
Talk about R&D costs getting paid for.
Yep.
They were paid for. Well, we'll keep an eye on Royal Enfield as usual, but this is not particularly impressive.
No, very little is coming from them lately. But we've got something kind of funny up next, which is Davi's new endeavor here with these Italjet dragster scooters.
Yeah. So, as you guys might know, Andrea Dovizioso had a sabbatical, let's say, from GP. He hasn't really stopped because he's testing for Aprilia and stuff. And apparently in his, sabbatical / retirement, he's gotten so bored that he is now developing race scooters. It's very crazy. And it's funny because us as Americans, we don't quite get the scooter thing.
No.
I know that now we're going to have a bunch of people in international markets drop in comments and tell us why scooters are incredible, but they are like beloved in other markets. But look how ridiculous this scooter looks.
I mean, it's bananas. It
has like a trellis frame.
It straight up looks like an Envy Agusta or a Tezzy.
It looks like a Tezzy scoot. It's insane.
Yeah. I mean, it's bananas how just aggressive it looks.
It's so angry. Do you think that this is what people who don't know things about motorcycles see like a Ducati and they're like, that looks funky, you know? Like, this is like, like what your mom probably thinks a Ducati looks like, They're saying, oh, it's a funky, crazy looking bike,
I bet you would give this to somebody who's like a normie and they're like, oh, it's probably really fast, huh?
Yeah.
Just because it looks fast. But I love this quote right here. It's the CEO of the company says this. When I designed the new dragster, I imagined it as a small sport bike to utilize in the city, a scooter capable of giving the feeling of a real motorcycle on the track. This is a track day scooter.
Now, for those of you at home who might not know, and I think you didn't know this as well right before we started, I believe it's in Indonesia. They actually race these, step-through scooters. There's a whole class of racing in Indonesia for step-through scoot racing. So it's pretty popular. And as we saw in a previous Yamcast, people also drag race those Bergman 650s and stuff. There's a big scoot market out there, dude.
But, I mean, it's a 125 or 200cc scoot.
Yeah.
And it's costing, let's see, the 125 cc's will cost 5,000 pounds.
Yeah.
And the larger scoots cost you 5,200.
Christian here says it's the Piaggio Panigale. It's the new Aprilia superbike.
I mean, it's just, these are...
I would feel extremely stupid riding this.
I really would too. Look at this.
Look at the triple clamp. What?
Look at that whole setup.
It looks like a Ducati Super Sport. That's crazy.
And those are like the domino grips right there.
Why is it like that? Is so silly.
Look at just.
Oh my god.
This whole situation is nuts. And there's your little single cylinder right there.
So it's just a single sill 2-stroke.
It's 4-stroke.
It's a 4-stroke. Come on, not even a 2-stroke.
It's a 4-stroke twist and go.
God, lame. The only scoots I like are the 2-stroke scoots because at least they're 2 strokes. And
Look at
it's
got
crazy.
the angry eyebrows too.
I know.
This thing is so just over the top, and Davi's just standing there trying to look all cool.
I just like how Dovi is, as if he's. I mean, yeah, like he's testing for Aprilia and putting input for the GP bikes, but do you really think he's gonna have meaningful like feedback for this thing and be like, oh, it needs like more front end grip and like the turn end is better? Like, what is he gonna add to it besides marketing?
I think that's it. I think they just wanted Davi to go stand next to it.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. I also look out how it's got the lever guards too. Like these guys have the Let's see if we can get the.
I just saw it in that other photo. They're like brake lever covers. Yeah.
Yep.
Like seriously for racing. Yeah. The only class I know of is those guys in Indonesia who do like legitimate circuit racing with the scoots.
That's got to be one of the most boring things in the world. Like, could you imagine? They have to do this at a kart track. Otherwise, could you imagine them at like Sepang?
They do it at Sepang.
Really?
Yeah. Look it up. Look up scooter racing at Sepang. We're doing this live right now.
Scooter racing at
Sepang.
Is it, how do you spell
S-P-A-N-G. S-E-P-A-N-G. Yeah.
S-E-P-A-N. God damn it, I can't type right now. S-E-P-A-N-G. There we go.
Click that first video. You're about to have your mind blown, dude.
These aren't scooters, though.
Yeah,
they look
are.
like ovales.
No. These are step-throughs, aren't they? No, those are like actual bikes. There's like legitimate step-through racing. Gotta find the right one.
Here. Race to Sepang. Underbone 125 cc.
That's it, dude. The underbones. Yes, dude. Look at that. I told you.
Look at the little pace car behind it. It's like, okay, I'm gonna idle.
I
forward.
love the Moto 3 tactics of like trying to catch the draft and like they're just like little bees zinging around. Deep on the brakes. Look at that.
That is the silliest thing I've ever seen. And they're at Sepang.
I told
too.
you.
Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
This was the same video I saw.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's the underbone racing. I
You know
forgot
what?
the name of it.
I honestly believe that would be very fun.
Oh yeah, it'd be so like low stakes. Look how long it takes them to get anywhere.
Could you imagine that back straight at Sepang
Yeah.
where it has that hairpin at the end?
Yeah.
Right before the start-finish straight?
Such a cool track. But yeah, I told you, they're crazy about him over there. Yeah.
That's nuts. Oh, man.
Yeah.
I
So
learn something new every day.
maybe this is now the new class leader in that race, you know?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. So we are definitely going to keep an eye on the emerging world of, Italjet's dragster underbone racing league. We talk a lot about Twins Cup racing here, but hey, scoot racing, it's a big thing.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah. What is our last bit of news, Spike? What do
So,
we got?
our last bit of news, something I was trying to find something to talk about, but basically BMW, they have this carbon fiber frame that they use in the HP4 race, right? But now what they're trying to do is trickle down a little bit of GP tech with carbon fiber bracing on their aluminum frames, cutting some extra weight. So that's basically what GP bikes do to reduce twist and shimmies in their frames. And BMW is going to add it to the S1000RR. So that's coming down, yet more GP trickle-down tech in a bike with no soul.
It's a real bummer. I think it's only a matter of time until we keep seeing this trickle down eventually to have those seamless boxes on the street.
Yep.
I'm telling you, man, one day, I think like 10 years from now, I want to guess.
What was the Super Leggera that we talked about recently that was getting the seamless box?
Was it getting one? The Ducati Super Leggera, the $100,000 one?
Yeah, I think that one's coming. The new Super Leggera is going to have a seamless box in it.
Nice. Yes, I think it's only a matter of time. I remember when quick shifters were like, unobtainium kind of stuff, and now you can get one in a friggin' $8,000 bike,
Yeah, this is as we try and get closer and closer to that, they need the new selling point, the new thing that's going to make their bike stand out amongst the crowd. It's going to be stuff like this.
Yeah. And it's funny because all this stuff is really just like extra flexes for the guys who spend a bunch of money on the bikes, right?
Yep.
I mean, it's the same thing about, guys who have like, level 1 rider talent, and yet they have like bikes with slide control and like crazy wheelie control and all this stuff. It's like, you're never going to use that stuff,
No.
It's just kind of frosting on top, and this kind of feels like frosting on top too.
I mean, I don't think there's a human being alive aside from a MotoGP racer who could feel this piece of technology at work.
Yeah, and it's crazy because even some of the GP guys need test riders to feel the changes so that they can trickle to the actual riders who are just like, I just know how to go fast. They're like, I don't feel shit. I just go as fast as possible. They operate purely on feel. They don't understand any of the changes on the bike. So that's why there's test riders. So yeah, to your point, it's like a percentage of a percentage of a percentage of people who even are going to notice a difference. This is a marketing point. This is just like it's got carbon fiber bracings, It's like, whatever, dude.
I mean, it's neat, but it literally seems meaningless. It's just BMW throwing more money out there in the hopes of attracting some dad with more money than sense.
Yeah. I mean, it's why we're seeing the market turn to these insane homologation specials like the M1000RR, the V4R, these $40,000 super bikes, right?
Yep.
Where I think 10 years ago, if you told someone, it's like, oh yeah, there's, pay 40 grand for a super bike, they'd be like, go fuck yourself, you're nuts. Like, no way am I going to do that. But
no.
Now it's like the cool thing to have, right? I still think it's very silly, but, whatever. Some people like the cool toys, man. I see them all the time at track days. They got the fancy bikes and stuff, and they don't care if you pass them and stuff. They're out there just having fun, and they just like flexing with you with their toys. Like, that's really why they're there. So I think BMW understands that market.
Yeah. I mean, but could you imagine, like, it's only a matter of time before we go from these aluminum, frames with carbon fiber to just like all carbon fiber frames.
Yeah, I mean the HP4 has an all carbon fiber frame.
Yeah, like once this is a thing that all the GP bikes are doing, it'll eventually trickle down. I just don't know if they can make this frame sustain it can withstand the forces of a GP machine.
Yeah. Do me a favor, look up, because I want to see this. Look up HP4 race weight.
All right, let's do this.
Wanted to see
HP4 race weight. Dry 378 pounds. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean that's unbelievable, right? It's got a wet weight that's 12 pounds more than my 675R in race trim, but it puts out like 200 horsepower, or more.
It's 8 pounds heavier than my Supermoto.
Yeah, and it's got a zooted to the moon 1000 cc four sill. I mean, that's nuts. That's nuts, dude.
Let's see, what does it cost?
It would actually flick like a proper race bike instead of like the RSV4 that's kind of like a pig.
Oh, it only costs you $99,000. That's not that bad.
I saw one at ECR the other day. This Friday,
really?
There was a guy. I passed him. That's funny, but sorry. He was a part of the 11 Motorsports gang, but it must have been his first time on track or something. But yeah, I saw him. We were gridding up and getting ready to go out in the little mini pit, and I looked over and I saw HP4 race and I saw a carbon fiber like frame and stuff. I was like, dude. Nice.
That's nuts.
And me and my jank ass 675R just pass him. Typical track day shit, man. What are you gonna do? And then some 12-year-old on a 300 just pass us all. It always works out that way. But yeah, we're gonna keep an eye on these crazy new features and tech that are trickling down to superbikes. I very much doubt that these carbon fiber inserts for the frame are ever going to trickle down to anything else other than these bikes. It just makes zero sense, but pretty cool to see. Got something new coming out here.
Yeah, I mean it's neat. It doesn't matter. No one's gonna be able to tell.
Nope.
But it's a line on a spec sheet for a spec sheet simp,
and they do love those. And with that being said, we're now going to move to the call-in portion of our podcast. All right, everyone, welcome to the call-in portion of our podcast. This week, we're doing a general Q&A. Call us, talk to us about whatever you want. We will entertain all topics and questions and of the like. If you want the chance to call us up, remember you can join over on yammynoob.co. Join on our Discord server. You get access to these streams live, and you can then call us in, and you get featured on the Yamcast. It's a fun way to interact with the channel, and it's usually the best part of the channel. So, Spike, we can fire up Discord, and Discord boys at home, if y'all want to... Oh, we need to grab our nerd goggles, as you always call them.
Yup.
If y'all want to press and hold Spike's name on Discord, you'll be patched in, and we will talk to you about whatever you want.
Let me verify that, yep, everything's recording. Cool. I was able to set it up right. Alrighty, we've already got one. Is BD Ralph. Oh, he just tried. BD Ralph, if you're watching, do the same thing you did. I just need to actually be ready to answer.
Okay.
So next one, Juan Daddy.
Hey there, Juan Daddy. You're on the Yamcast. How's it going?
Good. Oh, man, am I the first caller?
You are the first caller for today.
All right.
What do you want to talk about?
So I'll try to keep it short, but I have a question, a comment, and then a short story about not a homologation bike, but old guys riding expensive motorcycles. So my question was, man, you said R7 once. I was wondering, like, you guys didn't talk about the R7. I know the last couple of days they released some stuff. Are you just waiting to kind of build up more material and put out a full video, or what's the deal with that?
Right before we started the Yamcast, I looked on our project management software and saw that there's an R7 video I needed to make for this Saturday, and I was like, oh, fuck, I forgot to record that. So I ran to the garage and I recorded the entire R7 video before we started the Yamcast. So this Saturday, I've got my full impressions and kind of full detailed video coming out on it. But I guess we can do a TLDR. Spite, your TLDR, I think you told me in the break room, you're like, I don't care.
I don't care. It literally, I realized it was just an MT-07 cosplaying as a sport bike. As soon as I saw that angle where in the ram air they have the little single round, headlight from the MT-07's kind of ninja screaming face now.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw that, I was like, well, it's just an MT-07.
Yeah. Yeah, and by the time this Yamcast goes live, that R7 video will have already gone live. So if you guys are watching this after we put this out live, go back and check out that video. But Juan Daddy, what were you saying?
No, I mean, I understand what Yamaha's doing. It kind of makes sense. They're building off of a similar platform. They're going to sell a ton of them. I'm sure it's going to be a big money maker for them. But I kind of feel the same as Spite. I looked at it, and it's a good-looking bike. I think it looks better than the MT-07. But, it's going to be pretty much the same flavor, just slightly different. It's gonna be like vanilla compared to vanilla with like actual vanilla bean in it or something. I don't know. Not saying it's a vanilla bike, the MT-07, like it's boring or anything, but
yeah, I think the one thing it really has going for it is, compared to the RS660, which is a fantastic motorcycle, it cost about $2,000 less than that. So just on that alone, a lot of people are going to be interested in it because that's just the rule of economics. You price something lower, people get more interested in it. But I think now it's Aprilia's time to release a base and simple version of an RS660 that doesn't have all the whiz-bang to now compete with that R7's new price point. That's something I'd love to see.
Yeah, and I'm really in the market for like my third motorcycle now, and I've kind of been looking at sport bikes, and I've watched a lot of your RS660 videos, and I'm very interested in that. And I checked out the R7 yesterday, and they don't have every single spec out on it yet, and I just kept thinking like, man, $2,000 more. I'd rather get that Aprilia. It's gonna just destroy that thing. It'll be way better.
Yeah, I can't say enough good things about the Aprilia. It's a fantastic bike. It feels really good to ride. It flicks in beautifully. It has its own frame. Aprilia really took their time and built a motorcycle from the ground up, as opposed to what Yamaha's doing, where they're just basically taking an MT-07, putting clip-ons, and calling it a day. Yeah, I think the R7 is going to be a fun bike, probably an interesting bike to ride, and really enjoyable to take on track. But it's not going to wow anybody, I don't think.
Yeah. All right. Comment I asked you. You get individual questions on the Discord all the time, but I asked you like about a month and a half ago, like, hey, is it worth it to buy a Leo Vinci pipe? You're like, yeah, you won't regret it. Bought one. I put it on my 790 Adventure. Love it. It's awesome. Makes the bike sound so much better. Anyone out there listening, don't hesitate. Just buy one. They're great pipes. Really nice build quality, good sound, loud but not obnoxious. I love it. So
there you go, folks. Advertising at work and in action.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Leo makes a cool pipe, man. I've really enjoyed the ones that we've used on all the giveaway bikes, and I've got one on my Scrambler right now. It makes an awesome sound. It looks cool, and yeah, I bet on the 790 it really barks now.
Yep. Okay, and then last little bit, let someone else get on the line here. You guys were talking about homologation bikes. Not quite a homologation bike, but I just bought my 790 Adventure like 2 months ago, and the salesman who sold it to me, he was an older guy. Turned out he was like, I think 74, 75 years old.
Wow.
And when we were doing the paperwork, he was talking about how he rides bicycle and stuff. And I was like, oh, do you still ride motorcycle? He's like, oh, yeah, I got my bike out back. And I was thinking like, oh, he's probably got, it was at a BMW KTM dealer. I thought, oh, maybe he had like a, like a GS 1200 or something, like a big comfy ADV bike or something. He's like, no, I got a Aprilia RSV4 factory, a 2020.
Nice.
I was like, are you kidding me? He was like, yeah, you want to go look at it? And I went out there and looked at it with him, and it was a 2020, and he had like 11,000 miles on it.
Damn.
Wow.
Guy's 74, 75 years old, just out there riding that. And, I don't know. I think that's what, I'm sure that bike is well over 20 grand. I don't know what it, I don't know much about it.
But that's just proof positive that sport bikes keep you young. There you go.
Yeah. So, I mean, I thought that was pretty cool. I don't think I didn't ask if he took it to the track or anything, but the fact they put that many miles on that new bike, pretty cool.
I just love thinking about Grandpa just doing like massive fat highway pulls.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, what do you do with that thing? That thing is like, that's just a crazy motorcycle. He's like, yeah, I just like to ride it a lot. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome. I hope I'm doing that when I'm that old.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. Well, Juan Daddy, I appreciate the stories and the comments. We're going to open up the lines, but yeah, we'll catch you on the Discord, man. I appreciate it.
Have a good one, guys. Thanks.
All right, later.
Bye.
All right. Coming up next, we got Bad Moto Trucker.
Bad Moto Trucker, you are on the Yamcast. How's it going?
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good, good. What can we do for you today?
I'm a recovering scooter bro. I had a 650 Bergman for several years. So if now's the time for me to be completely browbeaten, I get that. But it was a lot. It was a lot of fun to have. I used to have a blast blowing up like low level sports cars with it. It was pretty funny.
I mean, they're surprisingly pokey for just a scoot.
Yeah, honestly. The Bergs are kind of known as like the super scoots, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It had great lean angle too. I really couldn't complain. I didn't have to worry about scraping pegs because hell, the thing didn't have them.
I think the only people that actually meaningfully make fun of scooters and don't like them are someone who has not ridden one, because scooters are a lot of fun to ride. I don't care what anyone says. Like a little 2-stroke scooter you can just jump on, step through, just bop around the city. Ton of fun.
No doubt. I also, while I got you guys on the horn here, I test drove a 2015 Triumph Speed Triple RS 1050 over the weekend, and I have to say that it was absolutely exquisite. I did scare the crap out of myself a couple of times, but I wasn't trying to yeet myself into infinity. I just wanted to see what a leader bike, especially a premium leader bike, felt like. The on-off throttle feel was a little snatchy, but I don't know if I don't know anything about the rider modes and stuff like that. I was just absolutely elated to be riding it, but it's a little pitched forward for my liking. I didn't realize it was going to be that way so much, but it was amazing.
Yeah, the Speed Triple is a fantastic bike. It has just like sort of otherworldly torque. It has like huge triple cylinders, so it actually feels really different than like normal leader bikes because they take a little bit longer to like build up the power. But you know, the Speed Triple is just kind of like there from the get-go, and it's a little snatchy just because it makes so much torque. Honestly, that's kind of my impression of it. Have you ridden a Speed Triple?
I have not yet.
They're cool. Yeah,
I'm
They're
really
chunky.
interested to see the new one.
The new one seems super cool, super like razor sharp. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the one I test drove was really sweet. It's got like right around 4,000 miles on it, but the guys are selling it for 10,000 used. And I know this sounds silly, but there's a 636 not far from where I live for $10,000. 2017 model was 0 miles, no gas in the fuel tank, and they also have a Z650 2017 model for like $4,500. It's a 17 model holdover with no gas in the tank.
Just don't even consider the Z650.
No, pass.
Hard pass.
You're gonna wish you were back on the Bergman.
Yeah.
Well, I really appreciate it. You don't know how much it means to me to be able to just speak directly to you guys. It's so awesome.
Oh yeah, no worries, man. We're literally just two dudes. It's no biggie. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've been subscribed since the first Daytona.
Oh wow.
And,
that was a long time ago. Yeah.
I was with you with that with the godless Nissan days. And,
I appreciate it, man.
I was also with you when you still had all the pins and everything in you, and you were healing and stuff.
Yeah.
I was with you during that.
Yeah, it's crazy to think how far and how different things have kind of turned out, but you know, glad that everything's turned out for the better. And honestly, it's because of people like you watching and stuff. So I really appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Hey, you guys are awesome, and keep up the good work. I've got 5 acres here. If you guys ever want to have the National Yam Fest, I can send pictures on the Discord. It's a playground for dirt bikes and ADV bikes.
Oh, don't get Spike too excited now. He's whipping up his DRZ.
Yeah, that DRZ is going to tear up some dirt.
10 miles. I'm only about 10 miles from the back of the Dragon, which is 233 curves in 30 miles. I know you guys would go ape over it.
Yeah, I've never been there, but I really want to go there one day for sure. But yeah, drop some photos, man. Maybe we can link something up. It'd be a lot of fun. All right, man. We're gonna open up the lines to some other folks, but I really appreciate the call. Thank you.
Hey, thank you guys so much. Have a great one.
All right, see ya. Spite, before we take the next call, I can barely hear people on my headset. Am I fully plugged in or something? Or
you might have this wheel here on the side that you need to adjust. There's a little volume wheel.
I don't
Where on the side that you rip the thingy off. Nope, it's this guy right here.
Oh.
Down is more loud.
Let's give me a check on the speaker really quick. Now I can hear. Okay. He was like whisper quiet, so I was like really concentrating.
Yeah,
but now I can hear. Okay.
Got to turn the thing on. All right. So next one we got Melancholic Drifter Boy.
Melancholic Drifter Boy, you're on the Yamcast. How's it going?
Hey, my phone is totally like way ahead of my TV, so I wasn't expecting that. But
well, you're here now, so what can we do for you?
I was wanting to ask you guys. Let me mute my TV. Actually, I was wanting to ask you guys two things. One was, how do you feel about like the motorized bicycles? Fortnite made a video on one. He was like, this is a really good way to learn how motorcycles handle, and like a nice sort of cheap project.
Do you mean like the little two-stroke motorcycles?
Yeah, like those 49cc conversion kits.
The like
for
$150
bikes.
from Amazon bikes.
The liquor cycles.
Yeah, those.
They seem fun. I've never ridden one. I'd like to build one.
I feel like if you're a young kid, sure, interesting, cool. I don't really see the practical purpose if you're a bit older. I feel like you could probably just get a normal, smaller bike and just start from there. I feel like it's a bit too small and a bit of an unnecessary step in the progression. I feel like a 300 or 400cc motorcycle is going to be good enough to start learning and riding with. I mean, e-bikes are cool too. I think e-bikes are interesting, kind of in that same kind of range too. So, yeah, nothing against them.
Yeah, I have one actually. I have had it for like 2 or 3 years. Got it running last year, and then I picked it up for like $200 from a friend that was moving out of state.
Nice.
It is definitely fun at first, and it's kind of a nice project to just fiddle with. But I'm definitely looking at getting an actual motorcycle now. It does get boring not being able to even do 30 miles an hour.
Yeah. I think I clocked in on my non-motorized bicycle 39.3 miles per hour the other day on a downhill.
Oof.
So you got to get those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers.
Downhill in the spandex with the
dude.
teardrop helmet.
No, I don't have the full aero helmet. I have a normal road helmet. Thank you very much. I'm not a dickhead. Yeah, I was in my Lycra on my road bike. Heck yeah. Yeah. You don't have a motorcycle yet, but you're thinking of getting one. Is that right?
Yeah. I actually am pretty close to having the money that I need to take an MSF course. And so I'm probably going to do that, get my endorsement, and then start saving up to like put a down payment on like a Ninja 400 or something.
Yeah, Turbo Boost is going to be a good choice for you. Those are good bikes, really mellow, really simple to ride. Yeah, it's a good beginner bike.
Oh yeah, I've thought about that too.
Good. We've taught you well. No, the 400 is going to be fantastic. Yeah, you're going to love that.
Yeah, and I've, as say whatever you want, make fun of me. I've always loved the Ninjas, like the look of them more than any other motorcycle.
Dude, I love the ZX6. I'm a ZX6 simp. Everyone knows this. Ninjas are awesome. They're like the sport bike.
And yet everybody says you hate Kawasaki.
Everyone says I hate Cowie. Yeah, even though I'm always like ZH2 best bike, ZX6 would be track bike. I hate Cowie for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it.
Because you called the Ninja 400 premium mediocre
and a toilet.
Time. Yep.
Hey, toilets are useful. They're a good thing.
I've seen people making fun of you for hating Cowie or just saying that you hate it. I'm like, he literally said that like the 400 was the bike to get for beginners. I don't know why everybody's saying that he hates it.
Yeah. I just feel like if like for me, for example, like I still, the R3 still like tugs at my heartstrings because I had one and I think they're still really neat. But You know, the 400's a great bike. You can't go wrong with it. But if I were to choose one or the other, I'd probably still choose the R3 just because it just vibes with me more and it's like speaks to my soul more. And, you know, it's just a neat thing. But yeah, the 400's a great bike. Yeah. Now we're objectively doing R3 versus Ninja 400 again.
Here we go.
I'm in the ninth circle of hell.
It's just the life cycle.
God. Yeah.
The other thing I was wanting to ask you guys was, like, and this one's like kind of a dumb question, but I was thinking about getting something bigger than the 400 because I don't want to make myself seem like all that great, but I'm pretty like mature about how I drive and how I've ridden what little things that I have. I was wondering if it would be a good idea to get something bigger or to just have the 400 to like get around on and learn what more speed on a motorcycle feels like first.
I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with how quick the 400 actually is. It's a very healthy little engine. It makes a good amount of power and is a lot of fun to ride. You'll probably scare yourself a little bit with it, to be honest. Even a 400cc motorcycle is substantially quicker than most cars and will feel a lot faster because you're actually moving through time and space. So my vote is to just get the 400. Don't worry about a 650 or a 600 or anything like that. Just get the 400, really learn and have fun. It's fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's really easy to get too much bike nowadays.
Yeah.
It's really easy to get too much bike. So I would just go with the 400. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, and I did actually look up how much they weigh and how much power they make, and then I like added my own weight to that as well. And it turns out that I would be able to give a Lamborghini Gallardo a run for its money if I had one, which that is pretty insane. Like the Gallardo would still beat me, but it not by how much it would beat like my Legacy.
Yeah. People don't really understand that about bikes. It's like, you know, like even like a 600 class bike is ridiculously fast.
Yep.
And then, you know, you jump on something like the Turbo Busa and it's just like world and or the ZH2 or something like that. And you're just like, I don't even understand how this can be so fast. And yeah, they're all like under 20 grand, which is why bikes are fucking awesome. Yeah. Anyways, man, we're going to open up the lines, but I appreciate you calling, dude.
Okay. One more question, if you don't mind.
Yeah, what's up?
Would it be a good idea to finance that motorcycle, or should I save up and just buy it outright?
I think I don't want to plug in my own video, but I think I made a whole video talking about this. But it really depends on your situation. If I can find the video, I'll link it for you, which will kind of explain a little bit better because it's kind of a detailed topic. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, man. See ya.
See ya.
All right. I think we've got Millennial Malaise next.
Yep. I'm just going to make sure everything's still going here. Yep. We're all good.
All right.
Millennial Malaise is on the line.
Hey there, Millennial Malaise. You are on the Yamcast. How's it going?
Hey, what's up, y'all? How's it going?
Good, good. Saw you were trying to call for about 15 minutes now, so we'd pick up the phone.
All good. It's all good. It's funny because after seeing the R7 announcement, it's kind of just like been the last domino to fall to kind of like really get a fire under me to like get a proper 600.
Mm-hmm.
And I was curious, like, what y'all's thoughts were on like what would be the 600 to get, because a buddy of mine has a CBR 600 RR.
Trash.
From, like, 2008, and he swears by that thing. He's got like the performance kit in it. It makes like 120 horsepower.
That's garbage.
Yeah, it's like you don't need any of that like emissions crap, you know, like any of that bullshit.
Look. All right, I'm gonna get on a soapbox here.
Here we go.
The CBR 600. In my opinion, and you can at me, you can say whatever you want, is literally the most garbage 600 bike. It makes dick all power. It doesn't even handle that great. I've seen fully built race prep 600s just like, dude, 118 at the wheel. I'm like, that's like stock R6 numbers, dude. Like, That's garbage. My race bike puts out like 128 at the wheel. A fully built R6 can do 130 at the wheel. I'm not saying power is a be-all, end-all. All I'm saying is there's a reason you don't see CBR 600s on any fucking podiums anywhere. All right? Like, you don't see... Fuck CBR 6. Fuck them. No. If you're going to get a 600, in my humble opinion, if you want a 600 class, like proper race rep, ZX6 all day long.
ZX6.
2013 plus ZX6 with the 636. A lot of people think that the 2005s look better. I don't agree. The 2013
German
plus.
A2 boy would like to
German
have some
A2
words
boy
with you.
thinks that they look better. I don't agree. It's the ZX6 all day, any day. That's my favorite Japanese 600s that I've ever ridden. I love them. Brandon Altmaier, a buddy of mine who's a former Moto America guy and rookie Red Bull Rookies Cup rider, extremely talented track day guy. He swears by the Suzuki Gixxer 600, but that's because he's a fucking squid. And if he's watching this, you know you're a squid, Brandon. But he swears by the Gixxer. I'm obviously very fond of the Daytona, but unless you just hate yourself, don't track a Daytona. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Yeah, I'm not thinking about that, but it's funny you say that about Hondas, because like Hondas and overweight bikes, like name a more iconic duo.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of funny because like just kind of thinking about like what the 600 is, and like because I've been like bouncing around the idea of like, oh, should I maybe get a like R660 for a second bike? But the more that I realize, it's like I think like I like just being at the top of that power band, and that's like a fun place to be. So I think like just getting an old school 600 sounds like a riot.
Yeah, I mean, they're awesome. If you want to go do track days, you want to carve up canyon roads, and you're not trying to do like, you know, big miles in the saddle, and you sound like you're young, you know, I think it's totally doable. I mean, I put down like 24,000 miles on my first Daytona, and I fucking loved every second of it. Obviously, I was a very green rider and I didn't know any better, but I still had a lot of fun, you know? It was still cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I think having something that like this isn't the first bike, like having something that's like reasonable to like rip around town, you know, in the 701, like it's great, but also at the same time it's like I just want something that I can go out and be a goon on, you know? Like
Yeah. I say ZX6. That's my vote. Spy, if you have any color to add.
I don't know. That's not exactly my world. Honestly, to me, the 600 motorcycles, the 600 class CC Super Sports, really do all kind of feel like they're cut from the same cloth.
Yeah.
They from somebody who's not really concerned about extracting the bleeding edge of performance. I rode the R6 and I was like, nah.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm good.
It's not your cup of tea. I get it, you know. It's kind of how I felt riding the BMW R18. I was like, it's neat, but I literally am not interested in it at all, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I could totally see why somebody would like that style of motorcycling, but not my world.
Yeah. It is super fun to rev them out, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing quite like, you know, getting on the boil on a 600 and watching the tack go to like 14, 15,000 RPM. You know, it's awesome.
Burying the needle on the 600 was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like that one of those things where it's like you're up to 6,000, 7,000 RPMs. It's like, I don't see what the hype is about this bike. This bike's nothing. And then you get to that 14,000 and you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
But you got to wait till you're there. I mean, it's like you're at 8,000 RPM and you're like, well, okay, I still got another 8,000 to go.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just for someone like me who spent a lot of time on 600s on track, it's such a bummer riding them on the street because you just know that you can't get there with them, you know? Like, unless you're really gooning, it's really hard to get to that point with them. So that'd be the only thing I'd say about them. But, man, if you feel called to it, you know, as cheesy as it sounds, if you feel like 600 life is your calling and you want to try it, do it. Life's short, you know? Get a 600, see what it's about.
Yeah, I figure I might, like, have to break out the Monster Energies and, you know, and become a true Kyle for that ZX6.
Yeah. Well, if you do it, drop me a photo on Discord, and then I'll start simping right there with you because I love the ZX6.
Will do. Thank you so much.
All right, later, man.
Later.
All right, who do we have up next?
Next up is Johnny Mish, who is not there. Next up, BD Ralph, who is also not there.
He appears to have a comment. Maybe we can talk about
Yeah.
that.
It was for a comment Yam made about being 11-year-old passing him on the track. Do triathlons, back your calves, wonder if they've seen it.
Do we want to read this out loud correctly, or do we want to just...
My question is, why do you hate to see pass you on the track day?
Okay, hold on a second. I'm going to read this whole thing. All right?
Yeah.
All right. So BD Ralph asks, it was a comment for Yam made about an 11-year-old passing him on the track, which, by the way, does not happen anymore because I've progressed. I just want to put that out there. They used to happen to me. I do triathlons, and on the back of your calves has one of your racing numbers, the other your age. During the cycling portion, it's nice to see pace yourself with someone your age or push to pass someone. However, it is just defeating when you see a 12 or 14-year-old pass you on a bike that costs $2,000 to $3,000, and it's no better than when a 60-plus does the same moments later. My question is, who do you hate to see you pass on a track day, and who do you look to pass yourself? This is an interesting question. I think, being a cyclist myself, it's very different for like endurance sports and that kind of stuff, because you know that the younger guys have like a ton more energy and usually more training and are usually just more fit than older guys. But also, like, the older you get, the more endurance you have for longer distances. For motorcycling, it's kind of all over the place, right? It really just depends on how early you got on a bike. Someone like Brandon, for example, Brandon Altmaier, my friend, he started riding on track when he was like 5 years old. Like, I'm never going to be as good as Brandon because I'm never going to acquire the same neuromuscular and the seat time that he had at such a young age. So it's just different for certain people who have started so young. And some people just have like a God-given talent to just yeet that shit when they get on track too. Some people don't have as much of a fear or self-doubt when they get on track too. The camera just died, so I'm going to point over there now. And, you know, it's just one of those things. For me, like to pass folks that I know are within my same kind of realm, like level 3 riders, novice class racers, that kind of stuff, and I like to kind of catch a toe from expert level racers. So that's my spiel on that. Let's move on to the next call in.
Okay. Next call comes from Dragon Cowboy.
Dragon Cowboy, you're on the Yamcast. How's it going?
Hey, what's up?
Nothing much. What can we do for you today?
Okay, so a couple weeks ago, I actually pulled the trigger and put the down payment on a new KLX 300 Supermoto.
Nice.
Because most of the bikes I've actually ridden aren't technically mine. Some of my dad's, some of my uncles, and they were all like above like 500 pounds, and I actually want to get something lighter.
Yeah, cool.
So something I was thinking about was I looked into it, and apparently the KLX makes like 22 wheel horsepower.
Okay.
So I was actually thinking to go into like the whole tuning, maybe boring. Do you guys maybe think it's worth it, or am I maybe wasting my time and my money?
I think if you're like literally just getting the bike and it's like a brand new bike, dude, just have fun with it for a while before you start thinking about upping the power and stuff. The KLX is going to be so light that really the torque is going to matter more than horsepower.
Yep.
You're going to feel the punch of that single cylinder, and it's going to be fun. You know, I've got a WR250 and I love riding the thing, even though it makes, you know, dick all power basically. Spy, what do you think?
Oh, absolutely. The single cylinder is probably one of my favorite engine configurations. I have 2 of them, and so maybe I'm just losing my mind a little bit. But having owned a V-twin, another V-twin, an inline 4, a V4, and now 2 singles, the singles are perhaps my most favorite to ride around in the city. They're so much fun.
Yeah.
You can have fun with them no matter what you're doing, really.
Yes.
Aside from highway miles, that sucks.
Yeah, because I was actually deciding between an MT-03 and the KLX, and a couple months back I actually rode on a WR250F.
Nice.
So I actually chose the KLX because I thought it would feel similar.
Yeah, it will. Yeah, it'll be just that light, nimble, like thin dirt bike style motorcycle. They're awesome. You're gonna have a ton of fun with that bike. But yeah, I would say don't worry about the power just yet.
Nah.
And then if you do get bored with the power, you can always upgrade to a larger single cylinder bike like a KTM 500 or something if you really want the big juice, you know?
Yeah, and another question. Do you guys think it's possible to make like a 400-mile trip on one?
I don't. You mean like in one go, or do you just mean like in general? Like, are you stopping for gas or?
Yeah, with a couple of stops.
Oh yeah, that's totally fine. Your butt's gonna hurt a little bit, but you'll be fine.
You just want to get a different seat and probably some bar risers that have the O-ring in it to eat out some vibration.
Let me just quick question. How old are you?
Yeah, because me and my dad were actually planning on doing a like cross-state trip.
Gotcha.
And
How old are you again?
I'm actually 19.
Oh,
You'll be fine.
You'll be fine. That's what I wanted to know.
Yeah, because
you're
my
a
dad
young guy.
has
You'll be
this,
fine.
like, this giant Harley.
Yeah.
And I'm on my little like dirt bike thing with 17.
Yeah. Your butt will hurt a little bit, but you're young, so you'll be fine. Spite and I are a little bit older, so we like a little bit more comfort, but we're not at the age yet. We're looking at dad bikes, so we just like to swap out for some comfort seats and a little bit of help here and there, but you'll be totally fine. But yeah, good luck with the KLX, man. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, see ya.
See ya.
All right, I think we got to call the call-ins for today, folks, because we've had quite a few of them. Appreciate you calling in. If you had a question that we didn't get to, just feel free to drop it in the Ask Yam channel, and I will get to it and hopefully answer. But now we're going to move on to the meme portion where we're going to rate and review your bikes that you submitted to us. And if you are listening to this on Spotify or another podcast app, you got to go over to YouTube to see the full audio-visual experience, so head on over there. Alrighty, guys, welcome to the meme portion of our podcast. This week, it's not quite a meme. We're actually reviewing and looking at bikes that our Discord owners, Discord boys, actually own. And so today, they submitted a bunch of videos for us, and we're going to rate them and review them. Without further ado, Spite, let's begin.
Yep. So today we are going to be rating on... I have bike rating, which is basically just like us being like...
I like that.
What's the bike? We're going to rate that up, and then we're
Yeah.
going to do creativity of the video.
Cool.
So it should be a little fun. We've got Matthew, not DFW. This is the guy with the Victory Octane in the Discord.
43 miles, set a world record, which I believe it still holds because people definitely care about that nowadays. The wife got me this motorcycle just a short 2 months before Victory went out of business for our 4th anniversary. The Octane is basically an Indian Scout hopped up in every performance metric. Better tires, better setup, better suspension, better gearing. It's everything a Sportster/Roadster could have ever hoped to be if Harley would ever got their heads out of their ass and put the V-Rod motor in the Sportster frame. 1 minute isn't enough to get into why I love this bike, but if you got any questions for me, just hit me up in the Discord, because God knows I'm there a little bit too much.
Nice. Short and sweet video. Victory Octane is a pretty sweet ride.
Yeah, I really wish that Polaris had backed Victory a little bit more. They didn't just kind of sunset them, because they were making some cool stuff.
Yeah.
But alas, here we are. So, rating the Octane. 1 out of 10. 1 being like absolute crusty nugget.
Yeah.
Needs to be thrown in a dumpster. And 10 being like
a Turbo Hayabusa.
Yeah. There you go. Turbo Busa.
Yeah. I say the Victory Octane for me is at least a 7.5.
Yeah.
His is quite clean, and you just don't see very many of them. Kind of a rare, cool bike.
Yeah, I think it's one of those. I think they only made something in not even 10,000 of them were made.
Yeah.
So they're a rare bike. They're a cool bike.
I say 8.
I think an 8.
Pretty neat bike. Yeah.
Creativity.
I liked his voiceover, kind of a slideshow appeal to it, kind of goofy. How about a 7?
A 7.
Yeah.
Starting off strong with that 15. Next up, we got Soulless Soldier. His is coming up right now.
Yammie, what's the best bike ever built?
What's the best bike ever built? It's a Vulcan 650.
But that bike is terrible.
No, this is good. The execution again is a little rough, but the kernel of the idea is really there.
What about the Turbo Busa?
Spy, why don't you go ahead and just give this guy a 0? That was extremely good.
I like that one.
Wow, that was chopped up so nicely. The flow of it was so good.
Yeah.
That was really good.
He put a lot of effort into that.
Wow.
That's cool. So
I can't believe how well that worked.
I know.
It almost sounded like I said those things, you
and
know?
he was pulling it from
it was the
Yamcast.
it was the thumbnail review because I remember
Yep.
talking about the kernel of the idea.
Yep.
Wow, that's crazy. I do have to give you a 0 for that Vulcan though. I'm sorry. No. I
feel like
what would you genuinely rate a Vulcan?
A 5.
Really?
It's literally the tip of the bell
Actually,
curve.
you know, you're right. It's not a bad. My gut was like 2.5. It's not a 2.5.
If I was being completely objective, I would give it a 5.
A 5. Yeah, and I think his is nice and clean and normal. 5 for the bike.
And the creativity here, though, very good.
9 for sure. Yeah, maybe even a 9.5. I really like that.
Yeah,
let's say 9.5.
9.5.
Yeah.
That's a 14.5, a very close second.
Very close second. You have really overcome your Vulcan 650, you know, kind of
handicap. All right, next up we've got Fog.
Okay. That had like a classic Yammie Noob energy to it.
Yeah.
Like the black with the courier font and the goofy piano music and the weird cuts.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
It
had like a French film theme to it almost.
It really
you know?
did. It almost felt like Paul Anderson, some of the stuff that he does.
Yeah.
Or Wes Anderson, rather.
Oh, Wes Anderson. Okay, yeah.
Paul Anderson is the one who does the Resident Evil movies. Those are trash.
It's his lesser-known brother.
So, for Fog here, bike rating. We don't have a bike.
We have
the bicycle.
It's not a motorcycle. It's a bicycle, and I saw a specialized frame on some gravel tires. It's kind of neat. The cyclist in me wants to rate it a little higher, but it's not a motorcycle, so I think it has 2 wheels, no motor. We got to give it like a 1.
A 1.
I'm so sorry, Fog.
But the creativity here, again, very high.
Very high. I think like a 9.5 as well. I mean, that was so good. You know, it was so cinematic, so thoughtful. You know?
And I like the like cat mask and the just straight on shots.
Just the staring. Yeah.
that was solid.
That was awesome. Yeah.
So 10.5 for Fog.
Yeah.
Next one, Cole Z10.
Forgive me, Papa Yam, for I have sinned, and this is my first motorcycle.
What the hell is that thing?
Now, I would never go against the teachings of Papa Yam, so that's why I'm here to present our 1976 Honda CB125S that we found on Craigslist. Believe it or not, when we found the bike, it was in much better shape than this. The engine was running fairly well. The lights and indicators aren't really working. The front brake has some issues. Rubber and all the seals are likely original. We also weren't sure when they did the last oil change. Servicing the front brake, that needed to be completely replaced. So while I was waiting for that to come in, I decided to do the oil change. Then I decided to rebuild the carburetors. Still waiting for parts, still not running. Basically an oversized paperweight. But I'll get back to you guys when I finally get it working again.
That is your classic crap vintage carbureted bike story, is it not? I mean, how often have we seen that?
Absolutely. I mean, it's
like all the time.
It's just what happens. You buy the vintage bike and then it works for a little bit and then it just sits in the garage.
Yep. Whitney knows that life. She's gonna make a video about that actually.
That's what happened to the DRZ last year.
Yeah, I feel like here in Austin, especially like little random cafe car builds like that are like a dime a dozen on Craigslist all the time. Well, let's rate it.
Bike rating.
Non-running. It doesn't run. Project bike. It looks pretty good though.
Yeah.
You know, not bad.
Maybe like
It doesn't run though. So that's a bummer.
with metal flakes coming out of the oil.
That's not good.
That's really not good.
3.5.
A 3.5.
Yeah.
Creativity.
Pretty good. Fun little story. I like the editing. It was
Yeah.
pretty funny. How about a 7.5?
A 7.5.
Yeah. Got a good little, nice little video there.
That is 11 for Cole's 10. Next up is NC Jax.
I feel like Fog and Cole's videos make me want to put back classical and like choir music in our videos.
Yep.
I want like old medieval choir music in our videos again.
So like a Gregorian chant
yeah,
going on.
Yeah. Is it a Z650? Ninja 650?
As you can see the fairings on the side, but that's the video.
Oof.
I feel like, again, like the Vulcan, the Ninja 650 is the tip of the bell curve.
But we didn't even get to see much of the bike.
No, we really didn't.
We just got a bit of a quick video and a back and forth, and
He's got an exhaust on it.
I think the blinkers turned off. The bike in of itself, I think because we didn't see a lot of it, I'm gonna give like a 4.
A 4.
Yeah.
And creativity.
This one's gonna be brutal. I'm gonna give this like a 1.5. There was
Yeah.
no creativity. You just sent me a video of your bike, and you didn't even tell me what it was, man. I'm sorry. I had to do it to you.
Ouch. Okay, next up we got Colorado Kevin, which you
Sounds
got
like a serial killer name, or like, I don't know. That's a cool name, Colorado Kevin.
you got to stick with this one to the very end, though. This is a good one.
So this is my 2013 Triumph Speed Triple.
Depth of field.
It's pretty factory. I like it. She's wicked fast in the straights. Not so responsive in the curves, but out here in Colorado, you get a lot of highway miles before you get up
Wait
to
a
the
minute.
mountains. Yeah, she's pretty ripper. I love that
I know
that
what's
triple
gonna happen.
sound, low end torque, just absolutely great. Might be a little bit too much bike for me, but I make it happen. So yeah, that's my speed triple. Okay,
I knew it. I knew it. I started looking closer, and I was like, no, it doesn't look right. I knew it. Nice.
That was when I saw that when I was putting this together. I was like, "Oh, you son of a bitch!"
You son of a bitch.
That was good.
Now, normally for a what was that, like a second gen speed triple black, kind of good looking. Normally, I'd give probably like a 7 for that bike. I like those, but I do have to handicap it because it was not in fact a real speed triple. But
He actually does own the Speed Triple.
oh, does he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he does actually own the Speed Triple.
Okay, gotcha.
But the model was a great touch.
Yeah, I think. What do you think for a speed triple? Like a 7 or 7.5? It's a good bike.
I give it like a 7, yeah.
Yeah, I think a 7. That's good.
Creativity here.
It was good. It was a fun little kind of like, you son of a bitch kind of,
Yep.
thing. How about a 6.5?
A 6.5.
Yeah.
That's a 13.5 for Colorado Kevin. Next up, we've got Mr. Eves.
What's up, guys? Heard y'all only had a few entries, so I've been sick, so wasn't gonna do a video, so you extended it today. But this is my
Katana.
2001 Suzuki Katana
Heck yeah.
600.
Mm-hmm.
That is the cleanest katana I've
It's
ever
like
seen
my
in my
little
life.
Yep.
adopted, beaten stepchild.
No,
doesn't
that's
look like it at
that's
all.
a
Got it
nice
from a guy
katana.
who did not take care of it.
What?
So I took it all apart, repainted it,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
cleaned everything up real nice. Motor was covered in oil. It's my first bike.
That's a heck of a first
Don't
bike.
love it, don't hate it, but it runs.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is seriously the cleanest katana I've ever seen.
Yes.
I had a buddy of mine who lives here in Austin who I'm not really friends with anymore, but he had a unbelievably ratty red katana that he used to run. Like the most rat katana you've ever seen in your life. So that one looks like god tier katana.
One of my buddies had the 750, I believe. And it took him forever to get the carbs synced on it. But once he
bet.
did, it was the fastest little inline 4 I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
That thing was a screamer.
Yeah.
But-
I feel like katanas and bandits, people really, really like. There's like a cult following,
Yep. That was pretty cool, especially the
yeah.
fact that he completely restored it.
Yeah. Pretty sweet little ride.
So bike rating there.
I think like a 7.5.
Agreed.
I've never seen such a clean katana.
And creativity.
Pretty basic video. I think a 5.
A 5.
Middle of the road.
Yep. That's a 12.5 for Mr. Reeves. Next up, we've got Poe.
This right here is my Honda Shadow 1100. I picked it up for $2,000. It was my first bike, and it has been fantastic. This puppy comes with a whopping 6.4 horsepower. That is 64 horsepower. Now you might be asking me, isn't that a lot for a cruiser? Hell no, it ain't. That is actually minuscule, and it does not use that 64 horsepower well. But I'll tell you what, the bike is fun, it is enjoyable, and god damn it, is it comfortable. It has some saddlebags on it that I put on there myself. I also put on a couple of speakers so I can make sure that everybody around me is listening to as good as music as I am. Got a wireless cell phone charger and a front fairing. Of course, it's a little dirty, but, it's a $2,000 bike. I ain't too worried about it being a little dusty. That's my bike, y'all. Hope you like it. Shadows are the best, lowest maintenance, never breaks down.
I like how he had like a, I don't know if he put it on for the video, but he has like a Colonel Sanders accent. It's like, I say, this right here, Honda Shadow, the finest fried chicken in all the land.
64 horsepower.
Yeah, 64 horsepower. That was cool. That goes to show you, and I firmly believe this, that even the crustiest of bikes, the dumbest of bikes, are still bikes and they're still fun.
Yep.
Doesn't matter what it is.
You can have fun on any two-wheeled vehicle.
Literally. They're so good. They're all so good.
Unless it's a CBR 500R.
That's a rough one. Yeah, that's not. There are better ones than that. It's like, I don't know if you saw on Instagram, I posted this. It was outside of Whitney's normal scheduled post she has on Instagram. It was a screenshot from like a fake magazine. And the cover was like, the GS 500F, so boring I almost died.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
So, the bike rating here, the Honda Shadow. Kind of like another one of those middle-of-the-road motorcycles.
Yeah, and that one was pretty dusty. Let's give it a 4.
A 4.
Yeah.
Creativity.
Pretty fun video. I liked his narration style. Was it a single take? I think a 6.
A 6.
Yeah.
That is a 10 for Poe. Next up, we've got Infernal Saxon.
Hey, this is Infernal Saxon, and this is my Indian Scout Bobber 60. As you can tell, I've kind of laid it down. I mean, the handlebars are all messed up. All the controls are gone. The taillights, they're missing. Here's only one of them. In all seriousness, I high-sided about, was it, in March? I'm still waiting on parts from Polaris to finish it out. Hey there. So since I don't have the bike, I guess I'll talk about my dream bike. That would be the Ninja 1000 SX.
Ooh.
I just rode one over the weekend, demo tour. Holy shit, that thing is so smooth. Glides over bumps like nothing I've ever ridden on before. You guys have a good week. Bye.
He sounded like a man defeated, but it makes sense.
Yep.
Poor bikes in the shop.
That sucks.
That does suck. Yeah. So you said he laid it down? What happened?
He said he high-sided it.
He high-sided an Indian Scout?
Yep.
That's fucking rad.
Yeah. that dude was doing some work to high-side that bike.
That's awesome. I'd love to hear the story behind that.
Yeah.
Because having ridden the Indian Scout, I could definitely see a low side because those tires are garbage.
And this was the 60.
Side,
it was the Bobber 60.
This man high-sided a Bobber 60?
Mm-hmm.
I got to hear the story about this. That sounds awesome. Yeah. Cool. Well, we didn't get to see the bike. We did see some dogs, so that's pretty good too.
But we can also rate the Bobber 60.
We can rate the Bobber 60. I think the Bobber 60 is like I want to say like a 4.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I would probably, because the Scout, I would put it like a 6.
Yeah.
The 60's a little bit less, maybe a point lower, and then half off for the Bobber because I don't like the Bobber
I don't
trim.
like the Bobber either. 4.5.
4.5. And creativity.
It's just kind of a single take narration. I think a 5 is fair.
A 5.
Middle of the road.
That's a 9.5. Next up, we've got Shippers.
This is my CB300R.
Boring.
Fair enough. This is my NSR50 1990. It's a 30-year-old piece of shit. Starts every fucking time.
This is the guy from Portugal.
Yup. Oh, it's a kickstart, too.
Hell yeah,
Most
dude.
of the time. Turns into split and start. Like a glove. Fuck. So, does the speedo work? No. The temperature? No. Tachometer? No, that doesn't work as well.
That's rad.
I like that one.
Yeah, that's great.
So, for the bike rating here for Shippers.
NSR 50, man.
Mm-hmm.
You really don't see those like anywhere.
Nope.
His is particularly a piece of junk, but it runs and he has fun with it. I want to give it like a 6, just because like normally I'd give it like a 3 because it's like that bike's a piece of crap, but an old 2-stroke, it tugs at my heartstrings.
There's something fun about them.
It's cool. It's neat.
I love the kickstart whole situation.
Yeah.
I feel a kinship
Starts it,
there.
then it just dies. Like, fuck.
Yup. So a 6 for the bike rating and creativity.
I think a 7 for creativity. It was a good video.
I
Kind of
agree.
funny. I think a 7.5 actually. I got a good chuckle out of it. I like the editing on it. He showed the bike off pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The little perfection thing at the end was funny.
Yeah, that was good.
13.5 for Shippers. Next up, we've got Get Baked AF 420.
Beautiful. 420 Blaze It YOLO 69, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hello there. My name is Ben, and this is my 2018 Honda CB 500F. I bought it back in 2019. I put about 6,500 miles on it so far. I really like it. I just put on this Aero exhaust slip-on this year, and I put a Michelin Road 5 on a couple weeks ago.
It's a good
so
tire.
far, I'm really happy with it.
Tire lasts him forever.
It's got aftermarket levers on it, bar and mirrors. The bar was flipped down a little bit from when I bought it. So far, I'm really happy with the bike. Sounds good, rides good.
Give us a rev. That was a very small rev.
Mm-hmm.
You could not contain yourself on those levers.
No.
Like you just you hate those things.
I really hate those levers.
All right, that's fair.
I hate shorty levers.
Yeah.
Just leave the stock ones on. They have so much better feel.
The stock, I really do. I mean, I did that on the Busa. I went back to stock levers because I like them way more.
Mm-hmm.
Way more. Okay.
So,
little CB 500. What do you
bike
think?
rating.
I feel like you want to give it a 2 just because of the levers.
I mean, that definitely is going to take away from it for sure.
Yeah.
I feel like that one's probably another like 5 motorcycle.
Yeah, I would give it a 5.5 just because it's got the Aero on it. He's done a couple things to it. You know, Pilot Road 5s. You can tell it's a guy who likes riding, wants to get more out of his riding. I think a 5.5.
A 5.5. Okay.
Yeah. I know you don't want to do that, but I think it's the right call.
Yep. And creativity on the video.
I think this is another 5.5 because it was a one single shot narration. We kind of been doing 5 or 6s for those. I think 5.5.
Yeah, 5.5. That's an 11 for Get Baked AF 420. Next up, we've got iMag 187.
Hi guys, my name is Garrett. I'm known as iMag187 on the Discord.
This is my bike. It's a 1987 Kawasaki KZ305 LTD. Even though it's 35 years old now,
baby UJM.
I love this bike,
Yeah.
even though it's a 300.
It's so clean.
It's only got 2,100 miles on it.
What? How
Found
is
this
that
bike in a
possible?
barn. I was able to rescue her. Been working on her steady.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Still got a little more work to do on her yet, but it's a beautiful, lightweight, standard motorcycle. It's a nice
so
parallel
much heavier than I
twin.
thought it would be.
Mm-hmm. UJMs.
All right.
Oh. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
And to all the guys out there without a motorcycle, man, I got this motorcycle for less than $1,000. So just pay attention to what you're looking at.
Nice.
There we go.
I like the positive message at the end too.
Yeah.
I love those old weird carved parallel twin UJMs. I think they're so neat. He had the original like swoopy bars on there too.
Yeah, which is
like
crazy.
like the old Yamaha XSs and stuff.
Yup.
That's really neat. It was super clean.
It was crazy clean, and
Yeah.
it sounded really good.
It sounded really good for what it was. Yeah.
So, bike rating for that one. I feel like a pretty high bike rating there.
That's a sweet ride. Unique too. You think like an 8?
Yeah, I think an 8.
Yeah, 8 for sure.
And creativity on the video. There were
That
some
was-
elements, multiple takes.
Yeah, multiple takes. A nice positive message at the end. What do you feel? Like a 6.5?
A 6.5 or a 7?
7? How about a 7?
A 7. So that is a 15. So let's see.
That puts us a tie for first place.
Yep, we have a tie for first place between
IMAG 187 and Matthew Not DFW.
Which he was the guy with the
Octane.
The Octane.
Yeah. I think his is better as a video.
The Matthews one?
Yeah.
I agree.
He had narration, voiceover, editing. I think that's our first place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I will say IMAG did have a lot of like elements on the video. He had the motion graphic text.
That is true. That is true. It's tough.
Yeah, I feel like
I feel like it's got to go to Matthew and then second to IMAG.
I think I agree. So that'll be first to Matthew, not DFW, and I need to check and make sure he's not on cooldown. I don't
think he is. I don't think he's ever won.
He actually did win one.
Oh, did he?
If you'll recall, he was the one who did the Hot Crazy Scale video.
Oh yeah,
from way back in the day.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
yeah, that was so good. I forgot about that one.
But I think he's also won between then and now. So I've got a spreadsheet. Don't worry, I'll make sure everybody gets their.
And then Soulless Soldier would be the second place with that incredibly well edited, or third place rather, incredibly well edited video.
Yes.
But he lost out because of his friggin' Vulcan 650, man. It's a real bummer.
Yeah.
I would also like to do something fun. I'd love to do an honorary mention prize, which we can figure out later for Fog, because his video was awesome.
Yes.
He deserves something, so we'll put an honorary mention.
Honorary mention. And then let's determine of these two 13.5s, who would be the winner, just in case.
Oh, sure.
So we've got Shippers with his NSR, and we've got Colorado Kevin with his Speed Triple.
Oh, that's tough. I feel like I want to go for the NSR. I think that's fourth place.
I think so too, because
he had more gags. Colorado Kevin had just like the one gag. It was well executed, but Shippers I think had a more fun video.
So Shippers would take the fourth place spot. Although he might be on cooldown. I got to check my spreadsheet. I've got a spreadsheet.
Yeah, we got to check it out. So that's going to wrap it up for this week's Yamcast. We hope you had some fun. Remember, if you've made it all the way to the end here, which I think only a couple hundred people every week actually do, remember, go to yammynoob.co and join up. You can join our Discord, have fun with us, submit videos, hang out with us. We take your calls. It's the best way to interact with us if that's what you're interested in doing. We'll catch you in the next one. See you later. Now, how you doing, partner? This video's over, but you click on this one right over here. You keep watching yourself some Yammie Noob. Maybe I bend my boost on this one. Maybe I'll give you some other funny memes or something like that. You might not know if you watch the video, so watch the video now, all right?